Hey, my beautiful followers, how is everyone doing on this first day of the new year, new decade? It is wild. It is wild. And I woke up and I've been having just this really laid back, just enjoyable morning. It's been a really enjoyable morning. Slow, but really productive. It's just been really nice. It's been a really beautiful way to start the new year. Truly, truly has been. But as I was going throughout my morning, I had all these thoughts popping into my head about like, oh, I could talk about that. I could talk about that on my video. And oh, there's that. And yesterday was a day filled with inspiration and learnings and just eye-opening moments. And so I was like, I'll just bring it all. I'll bring it all to you. We'll just do New Year's thoughts with Addison instead of a specific topic. Because truly there was all this learning and all this growth yesterday and all this just seeing. And it really started with yesterday afternoon. It wasn't even quite morning. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this 10 years ago, 10 years now, kind of those posts that are going around right now about like post from 10 years ago and post a picture of yourself today. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. Like that could be fun. That could be fun. And I pulled up this picture. The first picture that came up from 10 years ago was this picture of me, and I look so sad. And I know where I was in that time. I was sick and I was just not in a good place in my life. I really was not in a good place in my life. And that was definitely one of the turning point years of my life. It really was. 10 years ago was definitely that switch. And I just happened to be going and hanging out with those friends that I had 10 years ago last night. We were doing New Year's. But I looked at the picture that I chose of 10 years ago, and I was like, I would not be friends with that girl. I would have deep compassion for that girl, but I would not be friends with her. I would not be friends with her. Again, I had deep compassion, but I would not be friends with her at all because I was so just stuck. And then I looked at the picture of me now, and knowing that I you know, just like we're all growing, people are like, well, you're a coach. You you're an educator, you're a guru, like you should have it all together. Don't you have it all together? What do you mean you still want to grow? What do you mean you want to expand? I'm like, the day I stop growing and expanding and working on myself, like then I'm dead. Like then you are dead. And so I was looking at the two pictures, and it took my breath away a second, because I thought I was going into this with just some fun and like, oh, I'm going to do this. And it actually took my breath away to look at the two pictures side by side, because one, I'm just laughing. I took it in Punta Cana this last year. I think it was this last year. Yeah, it was this year. I took it in Punta Cana with Kendall. She just snapped it when I was like playing around on the sand, and I'm hysterical laughing, and it was so true. It was such true laughter. It was such authentic laughter. And this other picture, I'm like half smiling, and you can see just the not there-ness in my eyes. And it just took my breath away, and it was like, wow, the transformation. And that's kind of where I took it. It was like this beautiful transformation that is possible. That is possible. We like to look at our goals in like these little tiny micro fragments, but when we step back from the picture of our life and we really look at like a 10-year picture, how we truly transform, how we really can move. Now we can choose not to as well. That's a choice. We can choose not to make massive transformations, though sometimes our world and spirit will make the transformations for us. We either make a conscious transformation of like, yes, I'm going to choose this. Yes, this is where I'm growing. Yes, this is where I'm going to expand. Or our life will make those changes for us. We don't stay stagnant. We just don't. We don't stay stagnant. Whether we think we do or not, we get to choose, though, where we want to grow, where we want to expand. We get to focus. But if we don't focus, then life will take us. But thankfully, over the last 10 years, I have done that focus. I really have, especially the last 5 or 6, I would say, have been like complete refocusing times in my life. But it was just interesting looking at it, and then also just appreciating those people in my life that really did help me make those transformations. But I also, like I said, I hung out with these friends last night, and although a lot of them, they have transformed in many ways, it really, in many ways they didn't. In many ways they haven't. They're so different on how much transformation I've had in my own head. And okay, there. And we're back. Sorry, my internet must have gone out for a second. It's kind of cloudy here. I don't know. But I was thinking about my clients, and they're like, I just can't, like, I can't do the work. I can't transform. When's it going to happen, Addison? When is it going to happen? And we're like reaching for this growth, reaching for this transformation, reaching for the expansion when it is happening. And if we just relax into it, and if they just relax into it, they would see how they really are growing and how they are expanding. And that sometimes our lessons are blessings. They really are. And sometimes our hard times are our blessings. But if they really look at the big picture, I have such beautiful clients right now. They really are doing their work. I have quite a few clients. Let me move this a little bit. They really are doing their work. And if they just stood back, they would see the beauty of the work that they really are doing. And I think we lose faith in the human spirit. I think it's like, oh, well, it's hard to make changes. Negatively focus into, it's hard to make changes, people don't change. You hear that all the time, and actually that bothers me. I hear lots of people who are like, yeah, like the first time you meet somebody, that is who they are and they will not change. And I actually think that's bullshit. I don't think that's true at all. I think, yes, there is a core piece of ourselves that will always stay, and that is just being authentic to self and authentic to our core personality. But people do change. People do change. They don't change when we want them to. They change when they want to. They change when they decide, and their spirit makes that shift. And so it is interesting when I hear people go, oh, like people don't change. No, they do. They do. And when I looked at that picture yesterday, and then also just thinking through my clients, and I had several clients messaging me and just being like, wow, like there is such growth and expansion in the human spirit. And looking at my relationships and the people who really did support me through my transformation, and going, wow, the relationships we create in our lives are so important, so very important. And the sex we have in our life is so important too. And I think we tend to leave this piece out of our transformation and our growth, when in truth, it is actually one of the biggest pieces to transformation and growth is that sexual energy. That's not saying that if you go and you can fuck your way into transformation, but you kind of can if you're doing it in the right way, if you're doing it from the right mindset, if you're really learning and expanding and dropping in. And this energy, the sexual energy, is transformative, because I look back at my 10 years and a huge piece of that came from the sexual energy, the sexual energies I received, and moving through that and learning about myself at a deeper level. And the same thing goes for my clients that I have the blessing to work with. And so yeah. And then last night it was interesting because these friends that I was with, we were having girl time after the guys were having asshole time in the living room, and we were just chit-chatting, and they know I'm a sex coach, and so we're chatting. They're like, well, I don't know how you do it, Addison. I don't know how you do it. And they were talking about their sex lives, and I was like that's they were talking about it in this negative fashion of like, yeah, I just want him to get it done, and I hate when he takes forever. And I was like, I want my guy to take, not forever, but I want my guy to keep going and still desire me and like want me. And it was this interesting dynamic of like, I know so many of my clients, I don't want to spill coffee on my white couch. That would have been bad. I know so many of my clients that right now they're craving, and they would love to have that orgasmic relationship where they can just drop in and their man would give to them and they could just receive, or they had a woman that they could give to, and it was this negativity of almost taking for granted this beautiful relationship they had. And it just really got me thinking about how in the new year, one of the things that I work hard on, and I hope that you kind of can pick this up in the new year, is to really focus in on appreciating the people in your life, the relationships, because each relationship, I don't care if it's intimate relationship, a friendship, a colleague, all our relationships really do feed us, and we learn such beautiful lessons, but especially our sexual relationships. And again, we're not going to fully transform, we're not really going to step to that full next level if we leave out the sexual piece. And I was chuckling with my friends. I was like, no, like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum sexually. Like I want a guy who wants to spend 3 or 4 hours in bed. I love when my man is really taking his time on my body. And they were so against it. And I was just kind of laughing because it was, again, back to how my mindset has expanded and how they've just chosen not to. And that's their thing. But it is interesting because like I live in such a different world in the sexuality field, and people come to me wanting this deeper sex. And I want that for them, but they don't, they're like, no, we're good. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going to try to coach my friends and change my good friends, but it was just very interesting in the different worlds. And going into the new year, like really looking at what do you desire? What do you desire in your sex? And if you're not wanting change in a certain area, why not? And then kind of like, I told you this was like random Addison New Year's thoughts. But also I came across this, it's not really a meme, it was just like a little quote. And it was about manifesting reality and how everybody right now we're in this New Year's mode. We're in this mode of, hold on, coffee. We're in this mode of wanting to create goals and set intentions, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get that, and I desire this, and I want that. And I am all for the desires, guys. I'm all for the desires. Like, desires are yummy and juicy and amazing, and you go. However, there is also this piece of, if you want to manifest something, you have to feel it already in the now. You have to act like you already have it. You have to really embody it, and not just embody it as in like, if you want more money, that doesn't mean go, or if you want a new car, that doesn't mean go buy the new car when the money's not in the bank yet. But it's like, get into the feeling of that. And a lot of times when we go into the new year, we have this kind of graspy energy out there. And so I challenge you to really look at how you're going about your intentions for the new year. And are you grasping them, or are you letting them flow? Like my morning this morning, that was just like super flowy, and I got so much done this morning just like by kind of doing this and like following energy and spirit. But are you really grasping and reaching for those goals and intentions, or are you like, no, this is gonna happen? Do you have certainty? Do you have that level of certainty that, yeah, like this is already here, this is gonna happen. It is just me taking the actionable steps now, but it is going to happen. I am certain of it happening. It will be there, it will happen. Or are you in that lack of belief? Tattoo still hurts. For those of you who have been following for a while. But are you taking those actionable steps, but with certainty of like, yeah, this is going to happen. Like, it's just about me flowing. It's about me enjoying the journey, but it's already here. Are you going about your New Year's in that energy, and in an energy of just appreciating your freaking life, because there is such beauty right now if you just slow down. And I think we go into the new year looking at the world with these almost childlike eyes of like wonderment, of like, wow, like a new year, like, and really like getting nostalgic of like looking at our past, but also like having this excitement for the future. And I challenge you to every morning wake up with that view of like, what is today gonna be like? I'm so excited. Instead of just doing it on New Year's, but also changing your goals, your intentions into more like no certainty, and writing those down and doing all the aligned action, but also doing it with the belief system behind it. Because you can have what you desire. You really can. It might not come to you exactly how you thought it would, but the universe does deliver. The universe will deliver to you if you just slow down and just enjoy the process and get into the feeling. So do some of that. Do some of that. Go and enjoy your sex today. Go and enjoy your body today. Go and look at your fucking amazing ass growth over the past 10 years, because you're still here. You're still here. You're still kicking butt. You're still in the moment. And you have a new year and a new decade to enter. And today's a new day, and you can make the changes you desire today. You can. But have appreciation for yourself and the growth you have made over the last 10 years, whatever that is. I know you could probably go into, oh, I could have, should have, I messed up here, I messed up there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Focus in on all the beautiful growth, the ways you have transformed, the lessons you've learned, the blessings you've received over the last 10 years, over the last year, and really embody that and get into those beautiful feelings in order to create your next year, your next decade. So, on that note, I'm gonna let you all go. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I have tons and tons of events going on. I'm not gonna go through them all, but for those of you in the Plano area, my next event is my Tantra Reboot. It's the 101, 102 reboot. We do this every single year. It is always a great way to kick off the new year. So you can find that at addisonbell.net, the events tab. It is with Kendall Williams. It's always a really powerful event to get some basic tantric skills. And those of you who are not in the area, I'm doing a solo tantra program online. It's a 3-day global event. It's going to be amazing. You get to keep it for a lifetime. And that is going on a couple days after the reboot for those of you who are not in the Dallas area and still want to learn and practice really integrating Tantra into your life. So check all of that beautiful yumminess and all the other events coming out on my website, addisonbell.net. And again, I will see you guys tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Please like, share, comment. Tell me your New Year's resolutions, goals, dreams, intentions. Touch base with me below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.